Climate change is obviously a huge issue. I think it's a threat to American prosperity, and I think it's a huge threat to our national security, actually. So we have to deal with it. We have to start dealing with it soon. If we don't deal with it, we are in many ways leaving a debt to the next generation, because they're going to have to do some dramatic things to deal with it that will cost a lot of money, right? That'll take a huge amount out of their economy. So our basically kind of kicking this issue, kicking the can on climate change down the road is basically leaving a future generation a debt they can't repay. What I would do is put a carbon tax in place. I introduced the only bipartisan carbon tax bill in the Congress last year. You know, this gets back to my approach to my candidacy, which is I want to do big things, but I actually want to get them done. I want to find common ground and I want to make progress. I don't want to keep talking about climate change. I don't want to keep moving the goalpost on climate change. I actually want to get something done right away. And I think a carbon tax is something we can do right away, but it has to be structured right. It's got to be structured in a way where all the revenues that we raise from the carbon tax are given right back to the American people in the form of a dividend. And that's the bipartisan proposal that I was able to get introduced in the Congress that I can make law as president.
For people who feel strongly about this, there's calls for presidential candidates to support the Green New Deal. Is that something you're interested in, would be willing to support?
Well, one of the problems we have with politics right now is people get asked to support things that are not defined. Right? So the Green New Deal, as best I can tell, is an undefined term. As someone who was given the Legislator of the Year award by the Citizens Climate Lobby, I'm actually incredibly passionate about climate and have done a huge amount on the issue and have very specific plans. So if a Green New Deal means putting a price on carbon, increasing the Department of Energy research budget by 5-fold, because we ultimately have to innovate ourselves out of this problem, and doing things to support investments in renewables. If that's the Green New Deal, then I'm all for it. But I actually already have those proposals introduced, and a bunch of them are bipartisan. So some of the problems with the Green New Deal is no one's defined it yet.